1 at half against number 3 North Carolina State. Taylor got in foul trouble. They wound up falling 72-61 in what turned out to be a season low in points and field goal percentage for the Cavaliers as Tech wins the tip, and we are underway. As Dunn misfires on her opening touch, rebounded by Virginia. That's something to watch as this game unfolds, Fallon. Both teams have outstanding rebounding guards.
They do, and it's going to be intense. Whoever can win the boards, that's going to be a big key for this game.
And the turnaround falls for Camryn Taylor. Virginia's leading scorer each of the last 2 seasons puts the Cavaliers on the board as we check out Georgia Tech's starting 5. Inés Duero missed the Florida State game with an upper body injury. She's back in the lineup for round 1, although she throws it away, and the turnover gives it back to the Cavs.
Well, that was good rotation defense by UVA, getting that deflection and getting that steal. And look at Blackshear trying to get a deflection herself.
Every passing lane is going to be razor-wired tonight. Here's Kamora Johnson, the freshman, dropping it off to Taylor, trying to turn the corner on Dunn, gets the step and gets the lay-in. That's 4 quick points for Camryn Taylor.
And unfortunately, that's going to be a mismatch a little bit for Dunn. Taylor has the size advantage, but she's quick on her feet, able to drive.
A burst to the basket by Tonie Morgan, and the Jackets on the board. As we take a look at Virginia's starters with a stop and pop by Alexia Smith, she rims it off. Rebound off the baseline goes to the Yellow Jackets. Clark, Johnson, Smith, Taylor, and London Clarkson round things out. Very deep Virginia team that likes to push the pace for all 40 minutes.
It is, and this is Coach Mock's second season. A year ago, you know, she was trying to make work what she had with the roster in her first season, but this season it seems like this team is starting to click on all cylinders and buying into her system.
Very depleted by injuries as ACC play progressed last season. That turnaround was smothered. The block by Clarkson leads to the run out. Here comes Clark to the hole on Augusta Naita, and she draws the foul.
And you see, this was a solid move by Blackshear, but even better defense with the block shot by Lawson. And it just gets UVA running in transition, able to draw the foul, and now you have Clark at the free throw line for 2 shots.
There's Clark, 12 of 13 at the free throw line this year. She put the Cavaliers ahead by 3. London Clarkson, by the way, tied a career high with 3 blocks in a win over Georgia Tech last year in Charlottesville. Virginia's won 6 of the last 8 of the series. It's their lone regular season matchup, and a 2 of 2 foul trip for the sophomore Paris Clark, former McDonald's All-American out of the Bronx. Blackshear above the foul line. Away to Rusna Augusta Naita, the freshman who leads the ACC in 3-point percentage. You know they'll cling to her. A terrific move across the lane by Blackshear.
And that was a great move by Blackshear. She took her time, waiting for the defense to shift UVA in that 2-3 zone, and she's able to get the score.
Blackshear, 22 points, like you said, in that loss to Florida State. It was her 3rd 20-point game of the season. 2 off her career high, which she set in the season opener. There's Kamora Johnson, the McDonald's All-American, with a 1-high pick and roll to Clarkson. The extra pass out to Smith for 3. Leaves it short. Rebound up for grabs, controlled by the Cavs.
And that's something that Georgia Tech cannot do. They can't allow UVA to get offensive boards, even though they're one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the country, at 11th in the country.
Duero jumps the pass, steals it. And Virginia 9th in the nation in total rebounds. Here's Dunn, taking it up strong, grabs her own, and draws the foul.
And that's a great job by Dunn. She has to be aggressive. You know, UVA is going to try to collapse on her, especially with this lineup Georgia Tech's playing, having Dunn at the 4. She's undersized, but Blackshear right here just takes her time against Clarkson, goes up strong, and gets the finish.
Morgan, the rocker step, the drive, hits the deck hard. Late whistle, but a foul called.
Man, she takes some hits. I said it reminds me of Dwayne Wade back in the day when he used to stay on the floor, but he used to get up even better. And, I mean, she's so strong. She's going to take it hard, and she's going to get those hard hits. Seems just simply like Taylor was just trying to take the charge, but instead you have Tonie Morgan doing a great job drawing the foul.
I don't know if she was late on the slide or her feet were in the restricted area. Either way, it's a first foul on Taylor, and that is an issue and has been for Camryn Taylor the last couple of seasons, running into foul trouble. She picked up her fourth foul early in the third quarter of that North Carolina State game, and the complexion of that game changed afterwards. A three-pointer by Johnson. And the rebound loose, corralled by Nuero. Active start for both teams. Dunn lines it up. Can't knock it down. Johnson looking to push. These guards will get it, and they will go. Clark loses the handle on the dribble drive. Tech trying to turn the floor, but Johnson was playing positive, though he stepped on the sideline out of bounds. Augusta Naita catches the break. Georgia Tech to retain.
Yeah, that was a good play, good anticipation by Johnson, but she didn't read that sideline too well, steps out of bounds, and that's fortunate for Georgia Tech because they get the possession back.
As we checked, it is still 94-50 at McCamish here, too. A couple of Virginia subs. Jillian Brown comes in for the first time. Also, Sam Brunell, transfer from Notre Dame. The handoff from Blackshear to Morgan, and a foul called on the take to the rim. It's on Alexia Smith. That's a second on Alexia Smith, the senior.
And that's something I'm sure Coach Mox doesn't want to have. This team cannot be in foul trouble. She does have the bodies on the bench, but she wants to make sure she can keep her starters close because as the looks of this game early, it's going to be a tight one.
Prompts a substitution. The freshman Olivia McGee takes over. The inbound pass stolen. Johnson has her pocket picked by Dunn. Bounces ahead to Morgan. Can she track it down? She does. She can't lay it in, though. Grabbed by Blackshear. She rolls it off. Wow. Georgia Tech, 2 cracks in transition and 0 points to show for it.
Yeah, they're playing tight around that rim. That was an easy lay-in for Tonie Morgan, and she couldn't get it to go.
And just couldn't grab that up-court pass and angle her body. And she knew that that chase down was coming. 3 off the mark from the corner. Augusta Naito. Cavaliers lead by 1. Morgan once again on the dribble drive. She's stuffed by Brown. Oh, and another steal at midcourt. Tracked down by Morgan. She loses it. Blackshear saves it and does. Georgia Tech with some active hands there.
It's been very active in this game. It's been so back and forth. It's going to be good to see if one of these teams can settle down and start to get something going in their offensive sets.
It is already a 5th Virginia turnover, but they are protecting the rim well. Johnson fakes the stop and pop, gets the blow by, and gets the bucket.
That's a tough shot. The freshman made that look easy.
Now, Kamora Johnson is no ordinary freshman, though. The McDonald's All-American comes in second on the Cavs, 12 points a game. Jackson on a field goal drought approaching 3.5 minutes. Dunn, the 3, good.
And you heard Coach Mox say it, shooter. She was screaming it out to her team, but they didn't get out there fast enough, and Kara Dunn gets on the board with a big-time 3 for Georgia Tech.
Kara Dunn, that was not a facet of her game last season. The sophomore from Dallas, Georgia, levels us at 8. Kara Dunn has been lighting it up since returning to the starting lineup 4 games ago. Brown probing on Blackshear. Trying to plug it down to Brunell. Gets the deep seal on Dunn, but she traveled. So a 6th Virginia turnover early. Georgia Tech playing pesky defense. Yellow Jackets have left some shots on the rim, though. And every bit as evenly matched as we anticipated it would be. 8-all. Jackets and Cavaliers just underway in Atlanta.
When you're great, your game does the talking. In the ACC, ours speaks volumes. 26 appearances in the Final Four, including 9 different schools. 5 teams in the last 5 NCAA Final Fours. 40 teams in the NCAA tournament in the last 5 years, most of any conference. A nation best 8 ACC teams competed in the 2023 NCAA tournament. It's not bragging if it's true. Greatness is what we do. The ACC, accomplish greatness.
We love our house.
Great location.
Here in the first quarter, Dunn connecting on a 3 to bring this game to a tie. And ever since she returned to the starting lineup 4 games ago, Fallon, she has done some work.
No, that's an understatement. I mean, she's been incredible with that career-high 39 points against Georgia State. But she's just been so consistent since that game. And her scoring has been incredible. It was a slow start once she got her groove and got back into playing when she was out a few games. But she's clicking on all cylinders offensively to start ACC play.
Suffered a lower body injury a couple of minutes into Tech's season opener. It caused her to miss the next 3 games. And she's doing this all from the 4 spot, where she hadn't worked at all in the offseason, but she has fit right in.
She has, and I think it's made Georgia Tech scoring much better, much improved. And they just have, look at that. She's playing against post players that can't guard her when she's a guard playing at the 4 position.
And she's an active leaper.
She is.
Very fluid athlete as she gives Georgia Tech its first lead. McGee working on Dunn.
Travels.
As he travels. Already a 7th Virginia turnover. What has crept into this Virginia offense so far?
Well, I guess you got to give credit to Georgia Tech's defense. They're getting some good stops and moving their feet, and something that I'm sure Coach Fortner didn't see much of, especially with the defensive rotations against FSU. But tonight, Georgia Tech's doing a better job.
Sydney Johnson in off the bench for Georgia Tech, lurking at the top of your screen. Graduate transfer from Boston University. Dunn with a pull-up 3. Raises the iron. See Amaka Agugwa-Hamilton raising out of her crowd saying, let's go.
Right. And you got Dunn really working with Taylor, trying to defend her down low.
On the pick and roll with Vaughn, and she draws the foul on Johnson.
But I like that. Vaughn and Taylor with the 2-man game. They did a good job of creating the mismatch on the screen, and that was a nice slip by Taylor to get the mismatch on Johnson and draw the foul.
Foul on Sydney Johnson, her first, team second. Down the shoot to Taylor, raising up, rims it off. Now Fortner praised the work that Sydney Johnson did off the bench in Tallahassee after Tonie Morgan got into foul trouble. Very calming presence. The veteran out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Augusta Naita around the hedge. Feeds Noedo. A drive and dish to Johnson. She's hemmed in by Vaughn. Great defense by the sophomore. Augusta Naita slithering in. Make that Noedo for 2.
Yeah, Noedo, she's getting it going again. Missed the last game. But we see that she's starting to get her rhythm back offensively for Georgia Tech. That was a nice land.
Noedo missed that Florida State game with what was officially termed an upper body injury. You can probably figure out which part of the upper body it was based on the brace. Brown grinding beneath the basket. She gets called for steps. Virginia only averages 13.6 turnovers a game, Fallon. That is already an 8th, and we still have 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I know Coach Mox is just trying to get her team to calm down a little bit. It looks like they're playing a little too fast, unsure of what they want to do offensively. But Georgia Tech is creating that by playing very aggressive man-on-man defense.
She spoke with us after shoot-around. She talked about the need for her team to understand the second option on offense and maybe just rushing a little too much to get to that second spot. Another bucket, this time by Dunn, and the Jackets stretch the lead out to 6.
Exactly, because you definitely need that second option within your offensive sets in ACC play. You can't be one-dimensional and just relying on one player or one play a game.
Cavaliers trying to stop a 9-0 Tech run. Vaughn probing around the screen, lines it up, no good from 3. Clark swoops in for the offensive rebound. Tough all the way over Noedo, forced that up, comes right back down to her, draws the foul, and she'll go to the line.
Yeah, Georgia Tech has to do a better job boxing out and getting that rebound, and you have to applaud the work that Clark was doing on that possession. She was being aggressive, trying to score, and was able to get her own rebound. Now she's at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Pins the first foul on Noedo. There is Clark, one of 4 McDonald's All-Americans on this Virginia roster. In her career at Arizona, had only missed 1 free throw all year, and you notice I didn't say that until that one caromed off so nobody would accuse me of the jinx. But up and down, this Virginia team is great from the nail, 15th in the nation in free throw percentages. Clark splits the trip, stops that 9-0 Tech run. Yellow Jackets lead by 5. Clark, a career-high 19 points in the Cayman Islands versus then number 7 LSU. The spin, the flip, off the mark from Blackshear. Vaughn wants the entry, finds Taylor, spins middle, and finishes.
That's a big-time move, and what a great entry pass by Vaughn, a true point guard for UVA, and she's able to get the ball to the player that needs to have it.
Dunn draws the double. Fan out pass tipped away, tracked down by Clark in the foot race with Augusta Naita, and she puts it in.
Yeah, and that's on Augusta Naita on that last play. You got to meet the pass. She was standing and waiting for it, and that just opened the gap for the easy lay-in for Clark to get the lay-in.
Brings the deficit to 1 for the Cavaliers. 1 second differential, shot clock, game clock here in the first quarter. Blackshear with a skip to Augusta Naita for 3. Off the mark, 8 seconds to go. Vaughn serving. Defended by Dunn. Had her pocket picked, recovers, fades away, rolls it off as the first quarter comes to an end.
And this body's flying in this one. Everybody hustling.
We would not have...
Ball back to the days of Debbie Ryan, and when you look at the changes they've gone through over the years, it's good to have some fresh new blood in Coach Mox, and you see the difference that she's making with this team and this program.
Three-pointer to begin the second quarter by Brown is no good. Virginia's missed all 5 of its three-point attempts. They set a school record for season tickets sold in the offseason. Trying to build off a 4-14 record in the ACC last year. Injuries really depleted their depth. After an undefeated non-conference start, which saw them earn their first USA Today Coaches Poll ranking since 2010. Chance to regain the lead after they were down 6. A 5-0 run to close the first quarter. That 3 nearly banked in by Brunel. Blackshear can't track down the upcourt pass from Morgan, and the turnover starting to creep in on the Yellow Jackets.
It is, and Tonie Morgan saying, my bad. You know, that would have been a nice look if that lob pass was on the money to Blackshear. She had a wide open lane, but both these teams playing really fast, need to slow down a little bit.
It's been a crisp start yet for Tonie Morgan, who will continue to command a lot of attention in Nell Fortner's backcourt, the sophomore from Tallahassee. Now ball hawking Vaughn. Brown can't turn the corner. Still on the handle. Across to Vaughn. Her 3 is long. Augusta Naita the rebound.
It was a good rebound by Augusta Naita, getting up to get that one and grabbing it.
He's being ball hawked by Clark. I think both teams really respect the defensive chops of the other, and is causing them to play out of character offensively.
Yeah, it is.
Morgan off the screen from Blackshear, and she's fouled on the pull-up.
And that's fortunate that Morgan was able to make something to happen for Georgia Tech, because that looked like a dead play. Too much dribbling, not enough passing, and we know in the last few games that Georgia Tech has been able to pick up wins when their assists are up and they're sharing the basketball and moving and rotating it. It usually bodes well for this team to get a score.
Colin Yonta Vaughn, the sophomore, her first. As Deasia Thomas-Harris, the freshman from Katy, Texas, gives a breather to Dunn. Georgia Tech broke a single-season school record in free throw percentage last year. Just 66% this season. That's 13th in the ACC, though Morgan cashes in on the first.
And she's really struggled to start the season as the point guard at shooting free throws. So it's good to see her able to knock down both of those because they were needed.
She was 5 of 12 at the line her last 2 games. A 2 of 2 trip there. The Jackets stretch the lead to 3. Clark twirls past Noeto, splits a pair, leaves it short. The stick back doesn't fall, and ripped away by Blackshear.
And the moves are so athletic by these UVA guards. They just can't finish at the rim.
That time an unforced turnover on Noeto. The conversation was pretty similar in the huddles during that first quarter break with both coaches. Just settle down here.
Yeah, settle down.
Vaughn catch and shoot 3. Can't splash that down. Virginia ice cold from deep, makes the Cavaliers 0 of 8. Augusta Naita's penned in, bounces away. Morgan with a jump stop, hangs, banks, and draws the foul.
Man, she is so athletic. You see her make a move, get into the lane, and you think she's going to be stopped. But she's able to alter her body to reposition herself to get a good look at the basket or to draw a foul, just like she does here. What athleticism.
She still kind of profiles as that power guard, but you don't want to overlook the athleticism she does have.
Yes.
Just understands the angles, knows how to get her defender off balance.
She does, and she knows how to readjust in the air, even though she goes in hard and she has a strong upper body to where she can take the contact.
Double figures in all but one game this season. Also 5th in the ACC, 5.2 assists per game. Back rims the second. It's an 0-for-2 trip. Virginia has dominated the boards early, +5, but that's no surprise. 9th in the nation in total rebounds. They've out-rebounded all but 2 of their opponents this year. Funneled down low. The drop step, the reverse, and the finish by Clarkson.
That was a nice move by Clarkson.
That was textbook post footwork by the grad student from Pflugerville, Texas. 16-15 Yellow Jackets. Thomas Harris drives into a double team. Had it slashed away, recovered by Morgan.
It's just too much dribbling for Georgia Tech. Everybody's trying to dribble somewhere instead of passing the basketball.
Without a field goal, bordering on 5 minutes, can Morgan break that drought? No good. Blackshear, the offensive rebound. Her stick back spills off. And the drought continues. Here's Brown running. Collides into Augusta Naita. And the blocking foul on Rusna Augusta Naita. Didn't have her feet set for the charge. That's a second on Rusna Augusta Naita, the freshman.
And you see right here, Augusta Naita moving her feet. That's a no-no. As you see Brown trying to readjust. As she gets called for the foul, her second has to go sit on the bench.
Jillian Brown is at the line, the junior from Grand Rapids, Michigan. 84% free throw shooter, but well off on the first try.
I'm telling you, this tonight must be a lid on that basket at the free throw line. Nobody's able to knock them down. Good shot right there, though.
And it ties us at 16. Brown spent her first 2 seasons at Northwestern. Someone Coach Mox describes as a live-in-the-gym type of player.
You need those. I mean, you see the improvement with this team, offensively especially, but you can see the work that was put in over the summer.
The trap leads to the turnover on Dunn. Clark U-turns out of traffic, being chased by Johnson. Entry pass tipped and stolen. Dunn on the run. She will take it all the way to the basket and draw the foul. Get out the way, says Kara Dunn. She'll head to the line.
But I like that. That was an aggressive move. She had an opening to the basket. Looked like she was going to give a little bit of a fake. But she's able to get the steal. Great read and hesitation, and goes coast to coast. Has Johnson right there defending her, but gives a little fake with the pass and is able to draw the foul for 2 shots at the free throw line. I'm telling you, it's hitting the back end. The rim has not been kind.
Georgia Tech struggled at the foul line against Florida State, just 9 of 19.
And you definitely can't have that on the road. Free throws are so important, especially in close games.
Down, yeah. It makes Georgia Tech 4 of 8 at the stripe, but it does give them the lead again. Georgia Tech switching to a zone, it looks like. They sure have.
And you can see UVA looks confused. Coach Mox trying to get her team and let them know that the defense has changed.
Slicing in goes Clark. The scoop doesn't fall. Collected by the Cavaliers, and to the line goes Lawson.
I mean, this team has a knack to rebounding the basketball. It's like they know where it's going to go based on the shot selection or what their teammates, the types of shots their teammates take, and just perfect positioning for Lawson to get that offensive board and then to draw another foul against Georgia Tech.
And the first free throw good by Caden Lawson, and we talked at shoot-around with Coach Mox about her team's aptitude for rebounds. A lot of it stems from their head coach, because Coach Mox told us, I love rebounding. When I played at Hofstra, it's something they chart, it's something they emphasize. The players have bought into it. And she also knows she has good rebounding guards.
Yeah.
So 1 through 5, all capable rebounders. The backdoor feed. Morgan was jammed up. Jump ball, the call. The possession arrow keeps it with the Yellow Jackets. Were it not for that bobble, taking that backdoor feed, Tonie Morgan might have had an easy 2.
Yeah. She would have. That's good defense by UVA, getting a hand on the ball, and they were double teaming down low on the rotation, making that shot difficult for Morgan.
It's been difficult for both teams in this second quarter. Fallon Jackets have only attempted 3 field goals. They've turned it over 4 times. Virginia, meanwhile, just 1 of 8 from the floor.
Yeah, Clarkson with that tie-up to get the steal against Dunn.
18-17 Cavaliers approaching the midway mark of the second quarter. Clark over to Brown. Tight ropes the baseline. The reverse no good. Clarkson another offensive rebound. Out to Clark. Her 3 doesn't fall. Oh, it's falling down. Passed right onto the basket. That stick back isn't good.
Wow.
On the run comes to Dunn with Clarkson back to pursue, and she draws the foul. I mean, it has to feel for both teams, Fallon. Like they're shooting on those rims you see at the midway at the State Fair.
Yeah, and you just can't knock it down.
Can't
You're
win
not
that
going to win the
stuffed
bear.
animal.
Right.
Yep.
So this has been crazy. That ball for UVA just rolled around the rim and came right off when it looked like it was a wide open lay-in.
It's the first foul on Clarkson. 4th of the quarter against Virginia. Here Dunn, like we noted, a career-high 39 points before the Christmas break against Georgia State. 4th highest scoring game in school history and the most by Yellow Jackets since 1999. And give her 10. Leads all scores. Georgia Tech regains the lead. She was stroking the smoke that night against the Panthers.
Oh, she was. She was.
1-3-1 for the Yellow Jackets. Virginia's 0 of 9 from 3. The ball fake, the 3 by Johnson. Barely scrapes the iron. Virginia just a 27% three-point shooting team. The stop and pop by Sydney Johnson is no good. Offensive rebounded by Dunn. Right back to Johnson from the same spot. Got it.
And that's good to see. She's a capable three-point shooter, and we haven't seen it a lot this season. But that was a big-time shot. Kara Dunn having the confidence to give her another shot at it.
Well, they saw it plenty at Boston University. She shot 40% from 3 last year, just 22% coming in. The double team on Clark, and she throws it away. Jackets swarming in defense. Trying to build on this lead. Dunn trying to drop it across the paint. Stolen back by Clark.
That was a good recovery by Clark to slip in and get that steal.
Clark coast to coast with the left hand.
Yeah. Now we're seeing that athleticism from Clark. The McDonald's All-American transfer from Arizona.
Turned around into form after spraining her ankle in the preseason. Coming off 7 points against North Carolina State. And it's a 2-point game. Morgan, the step back. Rims it out. Clarkson snags the rebound. We're seeing both teams trying to get some numbers in broken floors just to get the offense going. The wraparound pass to Brown, and we're back tied up.
And I'm not surprised by that by Johnson. She's averaging high number 5.6 assists per game as a freshman. That was a nice look read.
Another pull-up 3 by Johnson. Clangs off. Virginia pushing the pace. Johnson looking for reinforcements. The spin. Tough turnaround, no good. Well, both teams, I think, need a whistle here.
They do. This game has been back and forth, high intensity. You know, both of these teams looking a little winded, but they've been getting after it in this first half.
Both teams below 30% from the field. Johnson takes the handoff from Blackshear. Reloads the screen. The drop down on the roll. Blackshear had it chopped out of her hands. It stays with Tech. As we've hit timeout, you see a hockey shift coming up for Virginia. Both teams need that breather, like we said. It has been a battle of offensive attrition, but it has been competitive here at McCamish. Tied at 22 between Virginia and Georgia Tech. Clark, the layup in transition to bring us back on level terms in Atlanta. Teams have combined 4 of 22 shooting at Fallon Stokes in the second quarter. Just that age-old Rorschach test. How much of that do you see as tough, intense defense? How much of that do you see as skittish offense?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I mean,
oh, come on.
I mean, at the end of the day, both of these teams have played very aggressive defense. We've seen the steals, but it's been some easy baskets, some chippies, some lay-ins that you just got to knock down.
Johnson short on the jumper, tipped down, and it's Morgan hanging just like that. Leaves it short in front of the iron and last off of Morgan.
And it seems like she's struggling a bit, like her legs. She doesn't really have that lift that she normally has, and you're seeing a lot of her shots come up short because of it.
Makes Tonie Morgan 1 of 7 from the floor. Here at Dunn, 10 to lead the way for Tech. Here's Clark, 7 to pace the Cavaliers as she catches off the curl. Drops it down. Taylor rises up, rattles it home.
I love the game. I mean, she just rises up with the jump shot over Juan Adanaz like it's nothing.
Aisha Juan Adanaz in for the first time, the senior from Pamplona, Spain. Dunn pivoting high post, dishes to Morgan. Nueto. Georgia Tech not much better from 3 tonight. 2 of 9. Virginia 0 of 10. But back in front, Brunel certainly capable. Relocates. That pull-up no good.
There's been some hard shots on that rim tonight. No.
Entry pass was batted down. Tie up Nueto and Virginia. Possession arrow gives it to Virginia.
That was good defense by Vaughn. I think because of her size, sometimes players may underestimate her, but that athleticism, she was able to jump up and stop that pass by Nueto trying to get it to Dunn and ends up getting the steal.
I think Vaughn was like a defensive back reading the quarterback's eyes there.
She was.
Both teams with double-digit turnovers now. It's a 6-0 Virginia run. Cavaliers back in front. Taylor working through traffic from the foul line short. Morgan levitates for the board. That's her 6th. Around the screen from Juan Adanaz. And a foul call. She is not afraid to take it into traffic.
No, she's not. And like we said again, because of her athleticism and she's able to hang in the air and, readjust to try and get the shot off, she's able to draw the foul once again, going to the free throw line. And let's just see if she can capitalize.
Foul on Paris Clark is her first. Was Virginia over the limit. Morgan's career high was 20. Some that twice, most recently versus Nebraska. Back on December the 2nd in Lincoln. And she is a player that has seemingly flirted with the triple-double foul ever since she laced him up for the first time at Tech. Is yet to record one, but she's always a threat.
That's crazy because she just fills up a box score. She can rebound, she can dish it, and she's a capable scorer.
Defending Johnson. Soft jumper, no good. There's a 7th rebound for Morgan. Inside of a minute in the first half as Augusta Naita gets bumped near the sideline and the foul call. That one goes on Katie Pauley, who's in for the first time. The sophomore will send Augusta Naita to the line.
Yeah, Pauley was trying to cut off that sideline, making it difficult for Augusta Naita to dribble on the sideline. Instead, she draws the foul at the free throw line.
Augusta Naita 67% at the line this year, limited attempts. Leads the ACC in three-point percentage, 2nd in three-pointers per game. True freshman from Lithuania. I tell you what, that last name will roll right off the tongue by the time ACC play is done because the word's getting out on Rusna Augusta Naita. 2 of 2 free throws. Georgia Tech back in front. We've had 6 ties, 5 first-half lead changes, the inside position, and Morgan suctions it in.
I mean, I just love to see Tonie Morgan when she skies for a rebound.
Oh, nice block by Pauley. Recovered by Augusta Naita.
I know, Pauley's unassuming, but that's good footwork, good anticipation with that block shot on the baseline.
Augusta Naita thought she got her with the pump
did.
fake. Shot clock at 9. Threads the needle to Dunn. Camryn Dunn with the dozen in the first half. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Vaughn initiates. Off a screen, pass was smothered. Dunn up court with one. Morgan, the runner to beat the score. No. I think it would have counted.
And see if they can keep the lead going into the fourth.
And both teams' star freshmen held in check in that first half. Augusta Knighton 2 points. Kamora Johnson for the Cavaliers just 2. It's Augusta Knighton with a fall away from the baseline.
Augusta Knighton, man, we said it. She is fearless. She makes it look easy, but that was a nice fadeaway leaning shot on the baseline for the freshman.
Only Hannah Hidalgo, the sensational Notre Dame Fighting Irish, averages 4 points per game among freshmen in the ACC. A tough shot by Taylor, boarded by the Jackets. Augusta Knighton thought about the three.
I know she did.
Drops it off to Morgan. Tonie Morgan pitches to an open Noetta, but she toppled over a Cavalier. Offensive foul as Clarkson took the charge.
And I like her teammates coming to her. Tonie Morgan, a little bit playing out of character this evening, not playing her normal game. But hopefully she can find a rhythm in the second half. And you see right here, she goes aggressively to the basket, but Clarkson was right there and takes the charge.
Great dig from that ball side corner by London Clarkson. A double team on the low post. Bet out top. Taylor, she's tough from the mid-range and has been for a while.
She is, and left wide open. I like the set play. Passed it to her teammate up top, and she was wide open and got the return pass and was able to knock down the jump shot.
Wow, who's trying to surprise the Jackets with some pressure. Morgan, 6 points, 8 rebounds, still no assists. Somebody who's 5th in the ACC in that category. Blackshear from the high post. Dunks in, left-handed shot, no. Morgan flying in, grabs the miss, and she draws the foul.
I mean, that's somebody. She is not afraid to go amongst the trees to go get a rebound and does a great job to get Blackshear's miss to get the offensive board and draws the foul. Going back to the free throw line, and this has just been critical to see if she can capitalize to get 2 more points on the board for Georgia Tech.
Draws a second foul on London Clarkson. Morgan, 5'9", is Georgia Tech's leading rebounder, 7.2 a game. Sometimes you see somebody 5'9" leading your team in rebounds. It feels like an indictment to the front court players, but that's not the case because Tonie Morgan is simply that good and that much of a hustling rebounder for Nell Fortner.
She is, and you know, I think this is the time of the rebounding guard. We said it in this game. Both of these teams have great rebounding guards who will go in the paint and get after it to get a board.
Clarkson to Clark. They got that deflected by Augusta Knighton. It stays with Virginia. That was the London to Paris exchange there. For those scoring at home. Just bide my time. Oh, the spin by Taylor off the hip of Dunn.
Oh, that was a nice move. Great positioning by Taylor, and she just is able to get the spin and easy lay-in.
It was a crafty play by the second-team All-ACC performer a year ago. Can Tech attack the pressure, and they'll back it away. Team's a little more efficient offensively to begin this second half. Still a 3-point Tech lead as Morgan draws the foul on the dribble drive.
And Tonie Morgan came back out after halftime being aggressive. She understands that her team needs some scores, and she's been trying to draw fouls and give her team opportunities or get some good looks at the basket.
And she can be a foul magnet. It's the second on Paris Clark.
Caught that like a receiver.
Yeah. Morgan got blocked from behind, and it deflects last off of Morgan. That was sensational defense by Paris Clark. You can't tell me she only had 3 blocks all year.
No, I mean, you see this, and Morgan has the little hook on her, and then she's still able to recover and gets the block and causes Tonie Morgan to get the deflection out of bounds. UVA ball.
We've talked about skittish offense versus pesky defense. That was some tough D by Paris Clark.
That was some tough D.
Noeto gets the deflection, but you see her holding her left elbow there, which caused her to miss that Florida State game. Kind of rested a little bit. Stays on the court. Johnson swings. Smith across the lane. Clark now winding her way in. Well challenged by Augusta Knighton, but Georgia Tech can't secure the rebound. Shot didn't draw a rim, only 3 to shoot for Virginia.
Yeah, Georgia Tech still playing good defense against UVA. They're making it difficult for them to get easy looks. Every shot is difficult.
Oh, the lob to Taylor, left it short. Morgan guarded by Johnson. Morgan off the slip. Rims it out. Chased down, saved by Taylor, but right to Dunn. She slashes in and gets the lay-in. Well, you can't fault the hustle, but that is the Cardinals' sin, throwing it back under the opponent's basket. And an easy cash in by Dunn to put Tech ahead by 5.
Yeah, you never want to do that because then we see how you can capitalize just like Kara Dunn just did.
Lob to Taylor. She is surrounded, lost her balance. Tech with numbers. The no-look bounce. Augusta Naita to Dunn. 7-point game. It's all of a sudden Georgia Tech's largest lead. And Coach Mox calls time for Virginia.
Yeah, you see a difference in this Georgia Tech team out of halftime, being more intentional and aggressive on the offensive end.
And as Augusta Naita, whoop, like a rock across the pond, skidding that bounce pass to Dunn to give Tech the 7-point lead.
When it comes to Nature Valley, which camper
leads by 7, but Camryn Taylor doing what she has done all season long, and that is score from inside and out.
Yeah, no, she has the rhythm and a nice turnaround jump shot. I say her mid-range, and she's open around that mid-range area. It's a knockdown. I love that wraparound that Vaughn gave her to give her an easy setup in the paint. But she's been the one consistent player for UVA on the offensive end.
We talked with Coach Agugwa Hamilton at shoot-around, and she said, when we asked her what makes her such an asset to your program, and particularly your young players, she said she works. And when your best scorer is one of your hardest workers, it's amazing what that does for the culture of your program. That runner falls by Clark. Stops the Georgia Tech run.
It does. I totally agree. You see, that allowed UVA to set up their press.
Augusta Naita in no man's land. Blanketed. It was tipped. Recovered. The spin. Johnson draws the foul. No, wave it off with travel.
Yeah, they were fortunate on that one. It looked like Johnson was trying to get some razzle-dazzle and get a little fancy with it. Instead, she gets called for the travel, but even though they get another turnover, it's going to allow UVA to set up their press and try and get another steal.
They tried to spin through a pair of defenders. Nearly got the end one. Considering how good Virginia had been defensively in that first half, like we said, holding Tech to 26% shooting. So surprising to you that they're showing more full court press? Oh, Blackshear and a handcuff, and it bounces off of Blackshear. The defense by Taylor forces the turnover.
That's a good job. No, it's not surprising me because if you want to try and find ways to get some quick steals and get back in your half court, it's not a better way to do it than to set up your press and get some steals. So defensively, they're just trying to probably change it up against Georgia Tech, show them something they hadn't seen in the first half.
Johnson, the quick pull-up off the mark. Rebounded by Clarkson, flings it back up, draws the foul. Battling for that board. Clarkson's mask came off.
I'm telling you, it's been a lot of bodies on the floor tonight, and it's just been a battle. You see this move right here with the miss, and then you see the foul on the Augusta Naita. Right there, Clarkson able to draw it.
Yeah, it's swiped down by Rusna Augusta Naita. It's her third. Second of the quarter on 10. Clarkson, 83% at the line this year. She broke the Virginia single-game record for free throws made without a miss last year. Went 14 of 14 against Boston College. Averaging a career-high 8.3 points per game. Began her career at Florida State. Grad student from Pflugerville, Texas. Makes it a 3-point game. He only got another steal. Johnson in for some more ball handling. Shovels to Noedo. Tight ropes the baseline. Finds Augusta Naita for 3. You give her that much time, it is a wrap.
And that's what happens sometimes in a press. You can't find the open man quick enough in the three-point shooter.
Oh, Taylor shows her range.
Right back at you. 3-point lead for Georgia Tech.
That's only the third 3 of the season for Camryn Taylor. Coach Agugwa Hamilton said she had worked hard this offseason to make herself a true 3-level scorer. It's not much of a threat from deep. First few seasons at Virginia. Back down to a 3-point deficit for the Cavaliers after their first made 3 of the game. Dunn double team, got a tip, out of bounds, stays with the Jackets.
Yeah, I don't think Dunn was expecting that double team, pivoted and was trying to score. Instead, gets blocked.
Well, back and forth we go in the opening minutes of the third quarter. Camryn Taylor, 15 to pace the Cavaliers, who trail by 3. A stalemate so far. Georgia Tech maintains the 3-point lead, and you had alluded to it earlier, found the third quarter has been the critical quarter for Nell Fortner and the Yellow Jackets this year. As you see, in their 4 losses, they're being outscored by an average of better than 10 points, and their 9 wins plus 67.
Yeah, no. This quarter is important, and right now, they're solid, pretty even. Both teams so far have scored 11 points in the third, but this is going to be, I think, a critical quarter to see who can take control of this game and go into the fourth quarter to try and close it out.
Both teams an identical 4 of 9 from the field off the inbound. And a hit from behind as Dunn was delivering that pass. They'll tag the foul on Clark. There's a third foul on Harris Clark, who's Virginia's second leading scorer tonight with 9.
Yeah, I don't think that they want that to happen. They need all the bodies on deck because this is a tight one.
It also gives Georgia Tech a fresh shot clock. They reloaded to 20. Dunn in deep. Those are the ones you got to finish.
Yes, I agree. Those are the chippies that both of these teams have been missing tonight and can't capitalize on.
Johnson thinking about a stop and pop. Puts Augusta Knight in the blender, but can't finish herself. Bodies diving all over the floor. And do we have timeout called by Virginia? We do.
Heads up play by the freshman.
30-second timeout as Kamora Johnson jumped on that grenade. 30-second timeout. We knew it would be intense. Georgia Tech started last year 0-7 in the ACC. Its worst start since 1985. Virginia was 4-14 after such a terrific start in non-conference play. Even though we're very early in the ACC schedule, there is something about starting 1-1 versus 0-2. Every player, every coach can tell you it makes a world of difference.
It does. I mean, you definitely want to get that low because it's so hard to dig yourself out of. And, you know, we see both of these teams have been battling from the start of this game. They know the importance of it. And UVA trying to steal a road victory on Georgia Tech's floor, and Georgia Tech just trying to defend home court.
Cavaliers have lost 2 straight at McCamish. Clark catch and shoot 3. Yes, sir, and we're tied. Clark is out there despite 3 fouls, but that decision pays off there. And they'll say it was a long 2. Georgia Tech beats the press. Can they finish? They'll get the foul.
And that's the points that Georgia Tech can get. Running in transition, trying to get some easy scores. We haven't seen a lot of that tonight from Georgia Tech, but if they can get that going, that's going to loosen things up on the offensive end for Georgia Tech.
It's now a third foul on London Clarkson. Monica Gugwa Hamilton thought she went up and down like she was 12-30.
Yeah.
So here is Kara Dunn, 69% foul shooter. Georgia Tech 11 of 17 at the stripe. Down to team high 16 points. Averaging 23.5 over her last 4 games. Two-point Tech lead as we come under 4 minutes in the third. Out of the horn set is Taylor. Barreling in, and a foul called. Looks like they'll call it on the floor. It'll be a third of the quarter against Tech. They tag Blackshear for her first.
And that was a good aggressive move by Taylor, trying to make something happen. Last few possessions, UVA hadn't had a score.
Well, you get her ISO'd at the elbow, allow her to get downhill. She is an awfully hard guard. The inbound was thrown away.
And that was good defense by Tonie Morgan, making that difficult. She was pressing on Johnson, pushing her back further and further and making that inbounds pass difficult, creating the turnover.
15th Virginia turnover, and now Morgan will get some pressure right back from Kamora Johnson.
And does it like an old school vet.
Yep. One they call Mo. Yes, the spin. Taylor tried to punch it away from behind, but that's a foul on Taylor. Camryn Taylor now has his second.
Tonie Morgan has taken some hits tonight. I'm sure she's going to need an ice bath after this one.
That already puts Virginia over the limit with 3:36 in the third. See it again.
We see right here, it's kind of a reach over. That's a foul.
Yeah, it wasn't on the punch out by Johnson. It looked like she had stripped her clean. Morgan, 9 points, 9 rebounds. She's just 1 of 10 from the field, Fallon, but 8 of 12 at the foul line.
Yeah,
foul line has been her salvation tonight.
She has struggled offensively, but she's found ways to score by getting to the free throw line, like you said.
Brown looking for an entry. Flips to Clark. Oh, threads the needle. Clarkson. Put that on the highlight reel.
Clark to Clarkson. I like it.
Yeah, it was some poetry. Augusta Naita spins right into the trap. Jump ball. Possession. Gives it to Virginia.
And that's something Augusta Naita cannot do. She's dribbling to that sideline and making it easy for UVA to trap her and making it difficult for her to pass out of the trap. And you see it. This is the second time this has happened to her this evening. Both have been turnovers for Georgia Tech. You got to keep that basketball moving and try to keep it in the middle of the floor.
A chance for Virginia, which is just 1 of 12 from 3 tonight, to take its first lead of the half. The entry to Clarkson, a victory lap around the rim, and she'll have a chance to take the lead on the conventional three-point play.
Right, and UVA's bench is up. Big-time play by Clarkson. Last 2 possessions, but she's against Augusta Naita once again and draws the foul, gets the and one, and you see the whole bench and the staff is pumped.
And they erupted in unison. It's also a 4th foul on Augusta Naita. Virginia, 1-point trail, 35-28 in the third. Coach Agugua Hamilton called timeout. It'll stay a tie. It's the rebound pulled down by Dunn.
And that's the key. Passing, keeping that ball in the middle, then setting up your offense.
Virginia, as all opponents by now know, they are never out of it. They have evaporated 2 15-point deficits in wins this year. Noguero follows her miss. Morgan double team, throws out to Johnson. Open for 3. Back iron, no. Blackshear trying to ward off Taylor, and they call the foul on Blackshear. Beg your pardon, on Taylor.
She has a little chuckle with it. It's on me.
It is a 3rd on Taylor, however. These are 2 beasts on the board just going at it.
Just going, you're right, going after it. Both very athletic. And I guess it looked like a tie-up, but I don't even know where the foul. But Blackshear gets the benefit of the doubt and is at the free throw line.
And with 2:27 left in the third, Fallon, you do wonder if that might lead some of the aggressiveness out of Camryn Taylor. That's her 3rd foul. Georgia Tech continues to lead points at the foul line. Blackshear, no good on the second. He stayed tied. It was a 3-point Tech lead at half. Virginia's last lead was at 24-23. Clarkson penetrates, shovels across. Clarkson handles, scores. Clarkson has come alive.
She has, and she has the advantage down in the paint. It's nobody that can really guard her at her size. And she's just had some great hands, made some nice catches, and a nice finish at the basket.
Into double digits with 10. Virginia regains the lead for the first time in the half. Morgan beats the 10 count. Morgan takes a bump, banks it no, grabs her own miss, and sticks it in.
Yeah.
That is a snapshot of what makes Tonie Morgan so good.
She stayed after it. Like we said, she doesn't seem to have the legs like she usually does tonight. Missed the chippy at first, but able to get the putback.
He's got a 7th career double-double. That's 12 points, 11 rebounds for the sophomore. And out ball, Hawkins Johnson. Lob down, tipped away, foul call. And that'll put Virginia on the line. The foul on Blackshear. Blackshear is 2nd, but the team's 5th. Camryn Taylor is at the line. She was a 69% foul shooter entering this year. Fallon, she is third in the ACC, 89%.
Yeah, she's shooting amazing. 27th in the country, and you know what a difference a season can make. Again, it just shows the type of work she put in during the offseason to get better. And shooting free throws, that's something that you can improve upon just with repetition and concentration, and we see it just on that first free throw.
Leads the league in free throws made. Push the Cavaliers back in front. Camryn Taylor up to 17. Master output against North Carolina State. She catches a breather. I'm sure Coach Agugua Hamilton, mindful of those 3 fouls, Brunell takes her spot. It's been a 9-point swing in this third quarter after Tech stretched the lead to 7. Buonadanaz is in. Trying to exchange with Noedo. Hounded by Clark. Takes a bump, tries to rope it out. It was tipped away by Johnson. 12 to shoot, Tech to retain. Morgan puts her shoulder down. Slices in, skips a Blackshear. Her 3 is good.
And we've been talking about that not being something we normally see from Kayla Blackshear, but she's improved her shooting and scoring too, just like we talk about with Camryn Taylor.
Well, that normally would be charitable. That was Kayla Blackshear's first 3 of the year, although she gets called for the foul, trying to deny the entry pass to Clarkson. That's a 3rd foul on Blackshear, but that 3 gives Tech a lead at 46-45. We'll see it again.
And we see Morgan gets the penetration, makes the right decision. Usually it's just not Blackshear in that corner asking for it, and she's knocked down the 3.
Blackshear, though, has to exit. And London Clarkson back to the line. And 17 points in the Cavaliers' win over Missouri. Career high of 23. She did that off the bench last year versus North Carolina. And a rare 0-of-2 trip at the line for an 83% foul shooter. Keeps Tech in front. Final 35 seconds of quarter number 3. Morgan whips it in the corner. Dunn racks up the screen from Buonadanaz. Reverses to Noedo, shot clock at 9. The crossover, sets up Harris. Baseline jumper, good. DeAsia Thomas Harris sticks it from the baseline, the freshman. Virginia looking to push. Clarkson fouled in transition.
And it looks like Dorado took the foul, but may have got hit in the mouth in the process. But we see this nice kick to Thomas Harris, and she's able to knock down the shot. And we see Dorado just trying to play defense and stop Clarkson from getting the score, and instead gets a foul.
That gives London Clarkson 9 third-quarter points.
Yeah, she's been a difference maker for Virginia in this third quarter. Been very consistent when it was Camryn Taylor for a long time, handling the brunt of the scoring.
Out of bounds, stays with Virginia. They can hold for the final shot. Tension etched across Nell Forder's face.
Yeah.
Virginia having trouble inbounding. Looped up for Brunell. Hands off to Johnson. Draws 2. Bounces inside. The layup good. And we end the third quarter all tied at 48.
Yeah, that was total miscommunication on defense for Georgia Tech on the rotations. And I'm sure Coach Fortner is going to talk about that.
Well, the Cavaliers made 9 first-half field goals total. They go 9 of 15 in the third quarter. Both teams getting their offense activated. But we are all deadlocked at 48. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter is coming up next.
The confidence to compete.
Georgia Tech was outscored in that third quarter. It's 1-4 this year. They have not won the third. Tech basketball to begin quarter number 4. Blackshear with the left hand. Kind of chucked that up. Rebounded by Clark. Dunn had the layup in the final seconds of the third quarter. Dishes to Johnson. Long from three. And it bounces out to Georgia Tech. That aspect of the offense has not materialized for Virginia tonight. Cavaliers now 1 of 13 from deep.
Yeah, they haven't been able to knock down any threes. And it's been some tough shots and some open looks that they've missed. But it's been difficult to knock down a three. I think for both of these teams, Georgia Tech at least hitting a few more than Virginia has this evening.
If they're not plentiful, you may as well make them timely. Is this a timely three by Dunn? Off the mark. 1-on-2. Blacks are able to secure the rebound and draw the foul.
And that was some good rebounding, very active. Blackshear, that was a big-time offensive rebound. And then she's able to draw the foul. Is she shooting? Nah, he's on the floor.
Tag the foul on Sam Brunel. Blackshear was second in the ACC in offensive rebounds per game a year ago. Offensive rebound there enables Tech to get a fresh possession. Morgan chased into the corner. Takes a return feed. Trying to put Brunel on skates. Dumps it down over a double team, but a foul on the pass.
But I like how Tonie Morgan is using her body well to weave in the paint, either to create a shot for herself or to find the open man, one of her teammates, to give them a good look.
The 2 quick fouls to begin the quarter on Sam Brunel. She comes out. Taylor back in. Dunn rainbows it in traffic. Blackshear somehow comes down with it, but they call the jump ball. Virginia gets it on the arrow.
Yeah, probably a better pass. Tonie Morgan was looking for it if Kara Dunn could have gone and just thrown the baseball pass to her. Instead, went for that lob pass and gets the jump ball, and UVA gets the basketball back.
She was trying to sneak it in. Off the spin, the shovel, the layup. Taylor, no, but a foul called. It looks like the passing has been so much crisper, and they're not traveling as long a distance now in the second half. That's been a change in the Virginia offense.
It has. They're making the right pass, and especially they've been intentional to look for Camryn Taylor when she's in the paint around the basket to give her a good look, and she gets fouled on that last play. But that was a chippy and a basket that she can usually knock down.
Well, she didn't convert, but she did draw the 4th foul on Caleb Blackshear. Blackshear comes out. Augusta Naita, who herself has 4 fouls, comes in. Taylor up to 18. Virginia back in front. 7 straight double-digit scoring games now for Camryn Taylor. Was Virginia's leading scorer and rebounder, and round-turning second-team all-conference honors last year. Season high was 26. She did that against Missouri. Splashes the second one down. Even though you lose the rebounding presence of Caleb Blackshear, you gain the three-point pressure of Augusta Naita as Morgan draws yet another foul.
I mean, she has a great way of doing that to create the space she needs, but to still attack and draw a foul. And all she's doing is racking up fouls.
That is the 8th foul. 8th foul that Tonie Morgan has drawn tonight. The second on Johnson. Morgan, mid-range, yes. Tied at 50.
I don't know why you don't go out and guard Kara Dunn around that space, leaving her open. She's like, okay, I'm gonna let it fly and knock down.
She's a mid-range technician herself. 50-48, Virginia on top. Step back 3 was blocked. Comes down to the Jackets. All knotted as Noero drifts off. Augusta Naita, a freshman, but she is not shy.
No, she's not. She's like, let me see it. I'll let it fly. Always ready.
Morgan rolling to the hole. Takes it up strong and lays it in.
And that's the first. As many times have you seen her tonight go to the basket aggressively and strong. That was one of the first lay-ins we've seen her being able to finish at the rim.
Tonie Morgan just 3 of 13 from the field. Clarkson travels on the jump stop. Turnovers had not nearly been as much of an issue after halftime for Virginia. but it cost them a shot. The Tech back in front. And like you said, Dunn, the touch.
She has it. And then this nice finish right here, you see Tonie Morgan driving hard to the basket. Gets the finish at the rim.
Dunn and Morgan each had big nights in Tallahassee, but Georgia Tech did not come home with the win. Augusta Knight ahead. She dribbles right into it. Ripped away by the Cavaliers. Now Clark is fouled.
Yeah, that's going to be a foul every time. And just being a little too lackadaisical with the basketball, Camryn Taylor took advantage of that.
Foul is on Nueto. Now Fortner was pleading that they got fouled before that turnover. Second of the quarter on Tech. Ball to Trigger. Floats it. Chopped away by Nueto. The intensity is just radiating off the court right now.
It is.
We can feel it from down here. Vaughn works pick and roll with Clarkson. Pump fake. Splits a pair. No good. And pulled away by the Jackets.
Yeah, and that was good defense by Thomas Harris.
Asia Thomas Harris getting some big minutes in the fourth quarter. Blackshear straddled to the bench with 4 fouls. Won't Adonas fakes the 3. Augusta Knight will let it fly. Off the side iron. Augusta Knight, 1 of 4 from 3, but she's had multiple threes in 4 straight games, and that's a travel.
Oh, wow.
Clark dribbled right into Nueto. But you know, Clark is out there with 3 fouls, given the option of a turnover or a charge. I think she'd rather have avoided that 4th foul.
Right. And I'm pretty sure she's happy it was just a traveling call.
Stays a 2-point Tech lead. Here's Augusta Knight. Nueto with Dunn anchored in the post. Thrown to Augusta Knight, hand in her face, rims it around, no good.
Man, this is a nail biter. The rim is not friendly tonight.
And there's a foul on the drive. Well, nobody cut off the ball handler, Alexia Smith. Aisha won Adonas. And Georgia Tech is out of fouls to give in the quarter. Thomas Harris in. One Adonas, and Tonie Morgan comes in for Johnson. So 2 free throws for Alexia Smith, the senior from Columbus, Ohio. 7 of 11 at the line this year. Ooh, well short.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Maybe she's just getting warmed up.
Maybe so. Scoreless tonight. She comes in averaging 5.3. 10 points against the Jackets last year. The second one is rimmed out. Rebound Dunn. She clears the carom. Every shot, every free throw attempt amplified now as we come under 6 minutes in the game. Dunn open for 3. No good.
Man, that's probably one of the most open looks that Kara Dunn's had all afternoon, all night.
Tech is 4 of 17 from 3. Virginia's 1 of 14. Cavaliers on a scoring drought over 3 minutes. Trying to knot this back up. Clark off the handoff, drives, floats, back rims it, gets her own, and banks it in.
And that's where that rebound and that good guard rebounding comes handy. Great job by Clark to follow her own shot and get the putback.
Augusta Knight. Blocked. Recovered by Thomas Harris, throws it up, no. Back tapped out to Morgan. Morgan wheels out and resets.
And that's a good decision by Tonie Morgan. Regroup, see if you can get your team into some sort of offense so you can get a good look at the basket.
Trailed by Vaughn, double clutch and 1.
Yeah, and I'll say that's a good look at the basket. Good decision by Tonie Morgan.
She's just so hard to stop once she gets downhill. And it takes it to time. Tonie Morgan up to 16 points with 12 rebounds to boot to give Georgia Tech the lead. Every shot will be challenged hard, but Morgan, too much force to the rim. Georgia Tech by 2, late in Atlanta.
Who says you can't go for bold without going broke? Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. TJ Maxx, where you can always afford to be you to the max.
You'll love this. So much space. Wait till you see the kitchen. Oh, another door. Oh, another door. You can really get lost in this place. Pretty sure we are.
Oh boy.
Where are we?
Where's the kitchen?
Is this a bedroom?
At least we could bundle our home and car insurance with Geico.
It could save a lot. Square footage is good for resale.
Finding a perfect home is hard. Thankfully, Geico makes it easy to bundle and save.
Do you know how to get out?
When it comes to hair supplements, you just never know.
You see things online, you just don't know if they're gonna work.
Is this gonna be powerful enough? Am I actually gonna see substantial results from it?
My dermatologist recommended Nutrafol, and it's 100% drug-free and clinically tested.
Within 3 months, my hair is fuller.
It's longer, it's thicker.
It was so nice to be noticed for my hair after hiding it for so many years.
Try the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com.
You were made to act spontaneously. We were made to help plan accordingly.
Is it possible to set a goal, stick to it, and still live your life? Actually, yes. Daily Harvest stocks your freezer with food built on organic fruits and vegetables, so you can live messy and eat clean, or eat pasta every night and feel good about it. Actually, yes, it's gluten-free, and it tastes great. We even took care of the complicated prep for you. So this year, you can say yes to you. Say yes to Daily Harvest. P.S. We're really good in bed. Get started at dailyharvest.com or find us in the freezer aisle.
Ready for the NFL playoffs?
I was born ready.
Dramatic entrances? Check. Team of destiny?
Check.
Nightmare matchups? Check. All the heart-pumping playoff action of your dreams? Check, please.
Georgia Tech, a 2-point lead. All scorers have games where it may not feel like it's their night, but can you deliver when the moment demands it? And that has been the case tonight for Tonie Morgan, the sophomore from Tallahassee, who was shooting and one. Started 1 of 10 from the field. But Morgan since then 3 of 4, and we should also note she began 3 of 6 at the free throw line. She's made 5 of her last 6.
No, she's been impressive in this fourth quarter, and sometimes as the leader for Georgia Tech, you have to take the team, put them on your back, make something happen, and that's what she's done in this fourth.
54% free throw shooter on the year, rims it out. Rebound cleared by Clarkson. Here's Clark, by the way, her first career double-double for the Cavaliers, 13 points, 10 rebounds. On to the open side of the screen on Augusta Knight. The pull-up doesn't fall. Battle for the board, stays with Virginia. No, Georgia Tech possession.
And this is a time where UVA wants to get a stop. They've gone a little cold the last couple of possessions offensively, but find a way to slow down probably Tonie Morgan, and definitely don't foul her and put her back on the free throw line.
Cavaliers back off their press. Dunn the blow-by. Blocked, recovered. Blackshear, and a foul. Caleb Blackshear back out with 4 fouls. Getting in for the board.
But rebounding, we said it, it's key. It's a key to this game. Both teams have been able to rebound the basketball well, but I applaud Georgia Tech in the fourth quarter, keeping Virginia off of the offensive or defensive boards, boxing out, so they can get second chance opportunities.
And that foul was the 5th foul on London Clarkson. So the mask comes unsheathed, and the player who is so good for Coach Mox in that third quarter has to exit this game with 4:19 to play.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a huge loss for Coach Mox and her squad. Clarkson was having a fantastic game and was a big spark for UVA in the third quarter.
Caden Lawson takes her place. Lawson has not played in this second half, only had 5 minutes in the first half. Big spot here for the senior from Cleveland, who got her first career start against Georgia Tech 2 years ago. So there's a veteran presence on the floor in place of Clarkson. That one spills off. Tech lead is 3. Here is Johnson, puts her head down all the way to the rack for 2.
Oh, that was lightning fast. It's something we haven't seen much of from the freshman tonight.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for the McDonald's All-American Camryn Johnson. That makes her 2 of 10 from the floor, but a clutch basket there. Dunn defended by Clark. Sizing her up. Down the lane she comes, hangs and rolls it in.
That's a big-time play by Camryn Dunn.
Clark's turn to attack. Dribbles through the double team. The scoop is no good. Back tap to Lawson. Sent on around. Johnson with the stop and pop. And another bucket by Camryn Johnson. Is she coming to life?
She might be.
At a critical moment.
She might be. And what perfect timing then to do it now when your team needs some buckets. And Georgia Tech has this 1-point lead that they're holding on to.
Camryn Johnson struggled against North Carolina State. Just 4 of 21 from the field against the Wolfpack. The game prior, though, 26. And that's a travel on the back down by Dunn.
And that's some good defense by Lawson. She created enough space to create or cause that travel. Camryn Dunn thought she had the post up and instead travels with the basketball in the process of trying to make a move.
11 ties, 9 lead changes. Cavaliers with a chance to make it a 10. Clark on Dueto. Sends it down the chute. Taylor spins with the left hand off the mark. Goes over the top for the loose ball, but it's a foul instead on Taylor. And with Georgia Tech, they are over the limit.
Coach Mox is in disbelief on that foul, but Dunn had the positioning on Taylor. She was in front of her to get positioning for that rebound. And if you look at it,
what do you think on the replay, Fallon?
Yeah, it's close. I don't know if I would have called that one.
I think because Camryn Dunn kind of jumped awkwardly, kind of maybe created that perception there was more contact than there actually was. But now you got to cash in on the free throws, and Tech has simply not done that. That makes them 6 of 12 from the line in the second half.
And maybe it looks like they got tied up.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's just 2 players going for the basketball.
2-point Tech lead. Camryn Dunn, a game-high 22. Her 5th game this year, top of 20.
Seems like it's been a quiet 22, too.
Yeah. The pull-up, Johnson, short. But swooping in comes Clark for the rebound. Paris Clark, 11 boards on top of her 13 points. Fresh possession for the Cavaliers. Vaughn draws the foul on Dueto. She clotheslined her, trying to pick her pocket. Watch out, Linda Miles in the line of fire.
Seemed like Vaughn got hit in the mouth. But this is right here with the reach in. Dueto gets her with that arm brace, and she runs right into.
Now here's the question: did Linda Miles, our official, would that be called a block or a charge on her?
But she takes it with a smile.
Yeah,
fortunately, that chair was right there to brace her fall.
Now it's Georgia Tech's last foul to give. Johnson for a 3. Rebound, Thomas Harris.
That would have been a big one.
Could have given Virginia the lead. Cavaliers 1 of 15 from 3 tonight. Still a 2-point game. Johnson gets around. And Morgan will back it away. Now has Lawson on the switch. They call the reach on Johnson. It was a light foul if there was one, but at the same time, you can't be taking risks that far from the basket against somebody who's not liable to pull up and stroke a deep shot like Tonie Morgan. 30-second timeout, Virginia, and also Georgia Tech is in the bonus. Down the stretch we come in Atlanta. Tech 58, Virginia 56.
We were made to help plan accordingly.
Andy Demetriff, Fallon Stokes as we welcome you back to McCamus Pavilion. 1:58 remaining. Tech 58, Virginia 56. We take a look at the foul trouble. London Clarkson is out. Taylor, Clark, each have 4. As the free throw is good by Tonie Morgan, Georgia Tech. And its share of foul trouble as well. Blackshear, Augusta Knight, and Noeto. 3 starters for Nell Fortner. Each have 4. Dunn has made 11 at the line. Make that Morgan has made 11 at the line. That gives her 18.
And both of those free throws were nothing but bottoms.
The second one makes it a 2-possession game. Vaughn gets the seam and gets the scoop. Yanta Vaughn, her first basket of the game. She was not deterred. Now the bigger task is staying in front of Tonie Morgan. Swain in front of her. Augusta Knight is run off the 3-point line by Johnson. Rejects the screen, pulls up and draws the foul. I think she sensed that she had Johnson on her hip and knew that if she elevated, she'd get the contact.
And that was a smart heads-up play by the freshman. You know, we talked about her international play and experience, and it seems like she was a old pro making that move, freshman on freshman. And Augusta Knight draws the foul, creates the contact, and convinces the ref to call that one.
It takes some nerve, though, to put it in the hands of the officials.
Yeah, it does.
Augusta Knight bangs down the first. Augusta Knight just 8 points. Second leading freshman scorer in the ACC behind Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo. Chance to make it a 2-possession game again. No good. Cavaliers chase down the rebound.
Just a critical possession for UVA, down 3. Seeing if they can make something happen.
Oh, thrown away, was deflected by Morgan. Shot clock at 10. Vaughn builds ahead of steam. Lobs it down to Taylor, cutting, tipped away. Loose, comes down to Brown. Off the rim, no. Rebound, Clark. She misses the stick back. Another offensive rebound by Lawson, and a foul called.
Wow.
Georgia Tech nearly got the turnover. They couldn't clear the defensive rebound, in Virginia just all heart to keep that possession alive, and they get free throws out of it.
They do, and you see the entry pass by Vaughn to Taylor. That didn't work, but UVA just does a fantastic job of going hard to the boards. And this team is one of the top rebounded teams in the country for a reason. We saw it right there.
Free throw rattles in by Lawson. Just 3 of 7 at the line this year for the senior, but a career 62% foul shooter. Makes them both. Timeout, Nell Fortner.
Well, we said it. This game is going down to the wire. These teams are getting after it. Both of them need a win tonight. And we're going to see how this game ends. 54 seconds left.
Both teams are in the bonus. Possession arrow, as you see, favors Georgia Tech. I won't say we didn't warn you. We said it was going to be a competitive, heavily contested 40 minutes.
I mean,
and
both
it is
of these
looking
teams,
that way.
It is. Both of these teams averaging, respectively, Georgia Tech 74 points a game and UVA averaging around 77. And then you look at the score tonight. This has been a defensive battle. And I think that's the exciting part about ACC play. It gets so competitive. The games are so important that it goes down to the wire. We're seeing crunch time in the fourth quarter with both of these teams, seeing with Georgia Tech if they can hold on and finish and get the win, or if UVA can turn around and can take the lead.
All teams trying to avenge ACC opening losses. And they have played with two teams determined to do that. Bounced into Morgan. Morgan, 18 points, 12 rebounds. As the screen waiting for Maud Adanaz. Looks like she'll let the shot clock drip down. Dunn in the corner at the bottom of your screen. Here's Morgan, dishing. Blackshear out to Augusta Knight. Has to create, shot clock at 5. Gotta hurry from the logo. Rims no, Dunn chases it down. Fresh shot clock, working in deep, throws it up, no, but a foul called.
Wow.
Ooh.
That
surprised that Dunn went right back to the attack?
I was. I thought she would have pulled it back out and reset. They had the shot clock, let it wind down. Shot clock would have been off, well, 0.6. But she decided to take it in hard, and it's very fortunate she was able to draw this foul. It was close.
They call the foul on Yonta Vaughn. Taylor was in the vicinity. Could have been a fifth on Virginia's leading scorer on the year, but Dunn taking it strong. Timeout, Virginia Tech. And 2 free throws coming up for Kira Dunn. Well, I don't know if either team is thinking about what lies ahead, but we know that they'd much rather attack the next portion of their ACC schedule at 1-1 instead of 0-2.
Yeah, I agree. And with that next game being at Pitt, you know, what more can you say if you're able to get a home win going on the road to play another ACC team? And it's really tough when you see this schedule for Georgia Tech, Pitt, Clemson, at Duke. The ACC doesn't get easy.
Yeah. Look at the road ahead for Virginia. Nip and tuck, tooth and nail. Going down to the final seconds at McCamish. Dunn just 5 of 8 at the line tonight. First one good.
That's when you're a big-time player for a team, knocking down free throws in critical moments like this.
Gives her 23. And the sophomore connects on the second. Timeout, Amaka Agugwa-Hamilton. Shot clock is off. Does Virginia go for a quick 2? Or do they look for a good 3, even though they're 1 of 15 from beyond the arc?
I think you go for the quick 2, or see if you can draw a foul in the process, because that's been what's worked for them this evening, is being aggressive, getting to the paint, maybe drawing a foul, getting the and one.
When you think of three-pointers, you think of Kamora Johnson. Went 6 of 7 from 3 in that rout over Fordham, but was just 2 of 11 from deep in the opener versus North Carolina State. The lone make from 3 tonight was by Camryn Taylor, who only had 2 threes all year.
Yeah.
They got Sam Brunell reporting to the scorer's table. She's certainly a capable three-point shooter. That might give a little window into the mind of Amaka Agugwa-Hamilton. It was a 3-point game at halftime. It was tied through 3. And it's a 3-point Tech lead again.
This has been
what
a
more
close
can
one.
you ask for?
This is some good basketball, and you know, it hasn't been pretty at times, but one thing's for sure, these teams have battled and gone after it, and you can just tell how important this game is for both of these teams. They want to win.
Yeah, both teams have played tough, and this game has been tight. Tonight, where Georgia Tech has shot 32%, Virginia here under 35%. Johnson, Taylor, Pauly, Brunell, and Vaughn, the 5 on the floor. Interesting, Katie Pauly's not seen much floor time tonight, but Virginia in need of a 3. Vaughn surveys. 13 seconds. Finds Pauly. Back over to Vaughn. Curls around the screen. She's marooned in the corner. A fadeaway 3 by Johnson is off the mark. Rebound loose. Noero handles it, and that does it. And Virginia had no airspace for a 3 on that final